Hey friends, so you are on a cruise and or you just came back from a cruise and you've learned a lot, you've drank a lot, you got the sunburn. Um, but you also learned about different gemstones, and two of those gemstones that are so popular in especially when you're sailing in the Caribbean or Alaska are Larimar and Mystic Topaz. Mystic Topaz is also known as Rainbow Topaz. When sailing in Alaska, it's called Northern Lights Topaz. When it is in the Caribbean, they call it Caribbean Topaz. The truth is that it is a stone that has a lot of different colors. I'm wearing one right now, and it really plays on whatever colors you're wearing because it has so many colors on its own. Now, why is it important for you to know about these gemstones? Well, the truth is that these are unique gemstones. They're beautiful buys, and like anything else, you can find different qualities of product, and that makes a big difference in just the value and understanding what the stone is recognized for, what it's known for, and making sure that you obviously get the best value for your buck. So, whoop, I'm trying to. I made some notes so I don't forget. Now, if you're asking yourself why on earth should I listen to this guy Eric, the truth is my entire career life has been in the duty free retail industry. In fact, I've had very few roles where I haven't had any correlation with the cruise ship industry. And having spent 18 years, almost 20, doing what I absolutely love the most, I think that it's a great opportunity for me to share a little bit of about what I've learned in the last few years. So, these two gemstones are two gemstones that are gorgeous, that are unique in their own way. And I think understanding them really helps you understand their values. So, I own a company called Escape. We do most of our business on cruise ships. We do special events called trunk shows, where we basically show up to the ship with our inventory and we just go ahead and set up shop basically for one or two cruises, and then we get off the ship and either go on to another one, or like they've done now that my hosts have gone on a little break, they send us the jewelry back and we go ahead and inspect it, send it back to the workshop if need be, clean it up, and just get it ready for the next round, right? So i um I figured I was working with these today, and I thought, you know what, let me make a little YouTube video and to show you what these pieces are, and tell you a little bit about the stone. Now, um, Larimar, let's start with that. That's a gemstone that was only discovered in 1974. It's mined in one part of the world. It's mined in the Dominican Republic, so it is a gemstone that comes from the Caribbean. And what's very interesting is that the claim to fame, the reason why people collect Larimar is because of that beautiful blue. And as the stone is being pushed through the Earth's crust, there are and water gets pushed out, traces of different minerals are left behind, and those traces create this illusion of almost like waves crashing. And because of that, Larimar is so popular and so sought out. For example, let me show you here. I'm not sure if the lighting is horrible, is gonna do it right, but you see how it has that different color blues in there, and that's really what makes this stone so desirable. Um, this is a gemstone that is worn by both men and women. It is a very uh, generous stone when you are if you decide to wear it. It is a friendly stone. This one has great character there, as you can see. Uh, and really, that's what makes Larimar so incredibly popular. Um, as I mentioned, the stone was really only commercially discovered in 1974. It comes from a very volcanic area of the Earth. It hasn't been discovered anywhere else. So, because of that, you can imagine that the quantity of product you can find available is quite limited. Fortunately, for those of you that cruise, you get to see a large amount of this because when you look at the jewelry world as a whole, you'll realize that there are specific gemstones that are focused in these cruise ports because of the sheer amount of people that come through every single day on the ships. So, jewelry stores invest in unique and rare gemstones, and they invest in having some unique designs. So, this is a gemstone that is mined by hand up in the mountains, and you want to make sure that when you are buying your gemstones, you're buying from a reputable dealer that is going to sell you natural Larimar. Similar to other gemstones, there are some treatments that can be done to enhance the look of the stone, um, and those are not limited to, but do include treatments like bleach, uh, treatments like polymer infusion, color correction. And it's important for you to know all of that so that you can so you can understand the price difference. A piece of Larimar that's in fine jewelry, like what we sell in 925 sterling silver, all 100% natural, untreated Larimar, that's going to be priced a little bit different than perhaps something that is in silver or in another metal and sold at a fraction of a cost, on the side of the road or something like that. And it's not to say that there isn't great buys and finds out there, but for in general, there are different qualities of Larimar, and it's important for you to know. And it's important for you to trust that if your stone is having any form of treatment, that the seller will disclose that. And sometimes that means that you need to ask the questions, and you need to ask them and be confident that they're going to tell you the truth. I think that that's what separates us a little bit because we've been on ships for so long. Um, we know that we're gonna bump into you again, so we try to be honest, and we have to be honest. And I like that, right? Because I feel like it's fun shopping, and it takes away that possible negative experience that might come around. So I personally think it's a beautiful gemstone. I enjoy working with it. I enjoy making beautiful jewelry with it. I think that it's a collection that will always be popular on ships until it basically runs out. Um, this is a gemstone that is relatively uh, easy to wear. I mean, the color is a light blue, so it's not something that's going to pop or clash necessarily with anything. It is a relatively solid stone. You don't have to worry about breaking it too much. This is a stone that you want to keep away though from like ultrasonics. I dislike ultrasonics as a general rule, but I definitely suggest that you try to avoid using ultrasonic on this particular gemstone. Often you'll find that the pieces are set with cubic zirconia instead of diamonds because it's a semi precious gemstone. And we want to make sure that it's a Larimar piece with sparkle and not a diamond piece with Larimar, right? Because you want to see what the Larimar is all about. So again, in terms of working with this gemstone, I think that you'll probably see it on your cruise. It is a beautiful stone. It is a stone that I strongly suggest everyone have in their jewelry wardrobe. And if you go to Alaska and you look at the glaciers, this is almost the exact same color. And I have always found that to be just so absolutely incredible because it's a stone that's mined in the Caribbean, and yet it just so perfectly captures the color of Alaska, if you will. I think it's so beautiful. So this is a gorgeous stone. Uh, for example, we only work, as I mentioned, with natural Larimar. RCZs are also extremely high quality. Yes, there are different quality CZs, just like there are different quality gemstones, every gemstone really. And we work with really fine quality, very clean, very well cut. And because of that, we don't need to add so much and we still get that beautiful design. So Larimar is a stone that I wanted to show you, and give you some ideas as to what that is. The other gemstone I want to show you is a gemstone called um, Mystic Topaz, as I mentioned earlier, or Caribbean Topaz, or Northern Lights Topaz. And this is a stone that really just, you either love it or you don't. That's it. Those are really the only two options. I personally, I'm gonna be honest. At the beginning, I didn't really understand it. I didn't like it. A lot of the designs I saw with this particular gemstone were gaudy, not in a, like, they were large and they were over the top, but not in a beautiful way. So I've worked really hard to make some very modern styles with this gemstone. We've been using a specific cut into a lot of our new designs. So if you see us online, if you see us on board, you'll likely see a little bit different style than, your grandma's jewelry. Now, something to keep in mind is that this is a natural stone that has been treated. And basically, what that means is that we start off with a colorless or near colorless topaz. The ones that we work with are mined and sourced in Brazil. And then the stone is cut. And after the stone is cut, they are exposed. They're put into a chamber with high pressure, high temperature, and they're exposed to titanium vapor. And that thin layer of titanium vapor is what gives the stone this beautiful effect. And it really truly does look like you grabbed a piece of a rainbow and captured it into the gemstone. Now, our stones are very clean. So you can usually see right through the stone, which means you get the maximum impact of color play and color movement at iridescence. Not all mystic topaz or rainbow topaz is created equally. Like anything else, there are shortcuts that can be taken. There are ways to make lesser quality gemstones appear to be just like everything else, but not really. And one of the main things that changes is the starting stone. When you start with a less than ideal stone, your finished product is going to be less than ideal. In this particular case, we work with extremely clean natural topaz, colorless. And because of that, we don't have any conflicting colors, or the way that the light is refracting or reflecting inside the stone. There's no problem with that. Something for you to keep in mind is if they start with a stone that has a slight milky aesthetic, or perhaps the stone naturally has a little bit more boron, when exposed to heat and pressure, the stones will amplify what's natural to the stone. So if it has boron, you're going to get a blue hue. If it's milky, you might get a milkier stone. And then they'll still expose it to the titanium vapor. And what ends up happening is you get this stone that's either more blue than purple, or you can't really see through the stone a very clean style. And that will make a very big difference in your finished product. Are they going to tell you? Chances are that they don't know. Not everyone is as much of a geek as I am, or as obsessed with these babies as I am. So ask the questions. If they're not able to walk you through the process of how the stone comes to be, or how the stone is mined, or how the stone is enhanced, ask yourself if you can trust them enough to take your money. And if you can, and you love the piece, do it, get it, because if you see it and you like it, buy it. That's my philosophy. um But if you're looking at making a sizable investment, make sure you're buying from somewhere that's reputable. Make sure you're buying from somewhere that is uh, backed by the cruise line, perhaps. So maybe that means that you want to buy on board the ship, or maybe that means that you want to buy out in port at a ship recommended store. The truth is that maybe you'll pay $50 more by getting it at one of the recommended stores or on the ship. But when you're spending hundreds or thousands of dollars, does $50 really make a big difference when in return you get top quality product and the guarantee by the cruise line? So that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at these gemstones. If you ever sail on one of the ships where my product is, you can pick up one of these little uh, brochures. It talks about the rainbow topaz, mother of pearl, and Larimar. These are available when you shop on a ship that our collection is on, and there are quite a large selection of gemstones out there. And of course, jade being one of our strongest performers and our largest collection, and I'll you can watch one of the other videos that I have on the channel about jade. But when it comes to two unique gemstones that I think that you really should know about and look for is Larimar and this mystic or rainbow topaz, because I think that they really do capture the essence of the ports of call. The Larimar obviously reminds us of the water or the glaciers, and the rainbow topaz reminds us of the northern lights in Alaska or the beautiful, colorful dresses that you see in the Caribbean, or the beautiful flowers you see in Hawaii, and of course, the rainbow in Hawaii. So two gemstones, absolutely beautiful. I have some of these products on our website, so feel free to go to curateyorescape.com and take a look at our collection there, or feel free to send me a message. There is more product that we have off the website than we have on the website. So if you're looking for something, or if you have a piece and you're trying to make a set, send us a message. We're happy to connect, and if we can get something for you, we 100% will. My name is Eric. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe and help the channel out. Thanks so much. Ciao.